and we're going to attempt to demo this part right here, the sheet metal bracket. It says build this on the YZ plane, but it's really open to interpretation here where that's going to be, how you want to lay that out. Starting at an axis of 10 inches, 20 inches in the Y, and 5 inches in the Z. So the first thing you'd want to establish is an axis. So I've in a brand new part, in the geometrical set, you would go to excuse me. I think it's in tools. Why don't I see my axis down here? I thought it was under model. Okay, under essentials I have the axis system, and in the axis definition we're going to right click and insert a point. So that point is going to be my coordinate. For the axis, and it was at 10, 20 in Y, and 5 inches in Z. I like to just preview it, fit all in, just kind of take a look at that. It's going to be my axis location, and say OK. Say OK. Oh, I must have been screwing around with my sketch command earlier. Let me just delete that out, pretend like I didn't have that in there. And what I like to do right away is just hide the absolute axis and do a fit all in. And then it's just like I'm working on my regular old axis system. Alright, it says to do it on the YZ plane, so I'm going to click on this and go into the sketch, and I will go normal to view just to flatten it to the screen. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is create a line, and I look at the picture here. I'm just going to create this rotated negative 90 degrees, so clockwise 90 degrees. This is 2 inches, this is 4 inches, so this leg must be 6 inches. So I'm just going to get an approximation, and I will go ahead and I'll just start off of this and then go to 7, and then I'm going to come up. Let's see. I'm going to come up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll just go up 2. This was about 4, and then come down something less than what the other one was, and then this was about 2. I didn't have to have it exact. Whoops, missed. Want to go up?
You're saying you don't have to have the exact, because you can change it later, right?
Martin, can you save those questions? I'm recording this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to click this position and click this here. Okay, I got a shape. Now, before I auto constrain, if I try and auto constrain, I'll probably get a mess. If I were going to, though, I might just chain dimension this. So first, I'll just give it a shot and see what happens. I'll use this and this as my datum. And you could always chain dimension it and then delete dimensions you don't want and insert the ones you do want. I'm going to leave it under chain. What is going on there? Okay. I'll slide this up. Okay, so for me, I notice it does weird things sometimes. Like, I would want to maintain the thicknesses on these. Okay. Just going to drag these down a bit. Alright, so what I might do is delete this dimension out. I got something going on with my cursor making it awfully hard for me to pick anything. I'm trying to grab that vertical line and move this out. And I'm going to select these two lines here with my control button. Go to the dialog box and fix those. Turn off my horizontal and vertical and select OK. See how this whole thing turned green except for right here where I deleted that dimension. I want to have my dimensions all maintaining this thickness here. So see, that's all it took for me to get this constrained, and now I can just go edit this values to whatever I want to edit them to. Alright, now when I go to corner this, I would highlight all of these on the inside. Oh, nope, sorry, those are outside ones. So I'm going to highlight these ones on the inside, and that radius, oh god, why don't I see the radius on that? Oh, 3/8 on the outside, 1/4 inch thick. Okay, so that radius would be 3/8, which is 375, minus the thickness, 0.25, to enter. There's your 1/8 inch radius. And then this one here, corner that at 1/8 of an inch. Now, see how that radius came out here? And if I type in 1/8 of an inch, it's going to do something weird. So I want to put my radius in here and then hit the tab button and then type in 1/8 of an inch. And then highlight this one over here and corner that. Corner that at 1/8 of an inch. Again, I'm going to hit the tab button. Now, all 4 of these outside corners are 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is highlight the whole thing, and it's not going to worry about anywhere it's corners. It's just going to worry about where there's vertexes or sharp corners, 90-degree corners. So when I hit corner and type in 3/8, it does those all at once. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And that's one technique. There's several techniques you could do. I could do rectangles in corner, or I could do this next trick I'm going to show you here. I'll delete this out, and I'm going to use profile again. And I'll start here at 1 and 1, and we'll go 6 inches. I'll come up 2.5 inches. I'm just guesstimating about where I want to go. 4 inches line. I'll come down another inch or 1.5 inches, and then I'll come over, I think it was 2 inches, and I'll hit escape. Okay, and then I'm going to go, remember we use auto constrain, and this time I'm going to reference the H and V to constrain a location and see what happens. I'll do chain dimension, and notice I didn't corner it yet. I like to put in all my constraints and then put the corners in after. If you remember from my demos on the auto constraints, I told you don't do corners until after the fact. It's just going to be a lot easier. So once I've got this profile, I can highlight the top and do a radius of 1/8 of an inch. and then highlight the bottom two and do a radius of 3/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to click a line, right click, object, auto search, and that will allow me to find all adjacent elements. So when I hit auto search, it finds the entire profile that I just created, and there's a little trick in here called offset. So in the features where you see the bell for the mirror command, if you hit the down arrow, you have the offset command. So you find your offset command, and I'm going to offset it 1/4 inch. Why are you not? Let's try that again. Undo. Offset. Oh, I did an instance of one. Sorry. My offset is a 1/4 inch. And the reason why it's constrained is because it's an offset. Okay? All I have to do now is create a line at the end of this. If I analyze it and do a sketch analysis, it's still open. Why is it open? Well, let's take a look. We'll zoom down. It's trying to show me the gap on the other side. This is where it's open, where that arrow is showing up. Okay, so I just got to go to the line command, add that line that I'm missing. And then when I analyze this, it tells me it's one closed profile. Okay. So I don't think I have to have this thing perfect to show the next one. What you would do now is you would go back to your part and you would make all the dimensions match perfectly to whatever this says. I'm roughly close enough, I believe, so this should work for me. I'm going to go ahead and exit it out. You can always go back and change your parameters later if something was wrong. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to try and wrap through this demo and create my pad. So under model, we have the pad feature. Oh, I'm going to cancel that. The part body is supposed to be the in-work object before you create your sketch. I can click the sketch, drag, and drop it on top of the part body. Oh, sometimes. Sometimes they'll let me do it, sometimes it won't. It's very picky. I must have done something where now it's locked up in the geometrical set and it won't let me do that. So this will be my demo on why you don't want to do this, and you get to redo it again if you have this problem. I'm going to create my pad and reverse the direction. Remember, we always want to reverse the direction, so when we have our constraints, they're all sitting right there in the front. If I were to do my drawing, when you create your drawing, your front view is going to be this view right here. That's where all your constraints are coming from. They're not coming from the back, they're coming from the front. And so should your part. Your part and your drawing should be identical to each other. Alright, so I've got this shape. I don't really know. I'm going to have to double check here. Apparently it's 12 inches long. So we'll go 12 inches long. Okay, so that's going to be part 1 of this demo. I'm going to start a new recording and do part 2. And part 2 is going to be showing you how I would create this curve up here. It looks easy at first until you try and lay that out, and then it can get a little tricky. There's a number of ways you can do it. I'm just going to give you one technique.